I don't know how you are, but it just makes me feel better about myself and more productive to get up and get ready for the day, whether I'm going somewhere or staying home. So that's what I wanted to do here today with you, is use products that I really love and that make me feel really good about myself. Some I've used for a long time, some I have recently discovered. All of the products are less than $30 except for two, and there's a specific reason why I'm using those two, and a ton are in the teens, which I think is really great at this particular time. And every single one of these products is available from Sephora, who I have to thank profusely for supporting my channel, not just right now, but overall for the past, year and a half that I have done collaborations with them. This video is in partnership with Sephora. I've just always been so thankful to work with Sephora because I have shopped there forever, as have so many of you, and all of these products can be found there. I'll have everything I use in the video listed down below. And I do want to let you guys know that this dark shadow that I have on is totally an option. We can stick with a one and done look, and I do talk about that during the video as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel yet, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button before the end of this video. And let's go ahead and get into this easy makeup look that just makes me feel really good. So I did start out by applying my Drunk Elephant Lippy Balm, which just saves my lips. They really never get chapped when I use this. And my Touch in Sol No Poreblem Primer, which I think is pretty good for all skin types. It's just nice and smoothing and wears well under pretty much any foundation I use. Most of these products I've been using for a while, but there's a few in this video that are somewhat newer. This is one of them, and one that I promised you guys an update on. This is the Bobbi Brown Skin Long Wear Fluid Powder Foundation. This is a light coverage liquid to powder foundation. It's good for normal combination oily skin. This is a product that I have been loving lately, and I don't usually love liquid to powder formulations because I find they just don't really look that natural. This is really nice though. I do have to blend in a little bit of my Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy to deepen it up a little bit because the shade that I have is a little bit light. W046 Warm Beige, and I should probably go a little bit deeper. It does set fairly quickly, so I blend it in sections at a time using either a damp or a dry sponge. If you like full coverage, this is not going to be the foundation for you, but for those of you who are just wanting just enough coverage to even out the skin tone, maybe you're just wanting, you know, like a tinted moisturizer or something like that, this is going to be really good for you. I'm going to show you on half of my face what this looks like. But you can see how it just evened everything out nicely. The side still has the redness going on. And what I love the most is how it wears throughout the day. I mean, I get shiny in my T-zone, especially while it's warm outside like it has been. And this has held up beautifully all day into the night. No shine whatsoever. I've been going on some pretty lengthy walks in the evenings lately, and this has held up beautifully. Even if I am just being presentable to be presentable, even if I'm not going anywhere major or if I'm staying home, I don't want to look or feel greasy. And this controls things for me all day. I've been really impressed, and I was not expecting to be. I've not been a huge fan of liquid to powder formulas in the past. I typically just feel like they look pretty evident on the skin. This looks really nice. I used a damp sponge right now, which kind of thins out coverage, and it still looks really, really pretty. And this will last, look natural, and keep me shine free. And you'll see what it looks like once I add powder on top here in a second. Now, if I didn't have the Bobbi Brown foundation, or I wanted something a little bit less expensive, I would use the Sephora Matte Perfection Tinted Moisturizer. It's $18. I've talked about it a ton on my channel, so I wanted to at least give you that option as well. The concealer I'm using, I just used in another video, and I'm loving it, so I'm going to use it again. This is the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Concealer. I'm in the shade L6, and there are 36 shades. This is the only other product in this video that is over $30, and it is $32, but I had to include it because I've just been wearing it so much. I have dry textured under eyes. I'm pretty particular about my concealers. I've really been loving this concealer. I've been using it a ton. I find it to be one of the most versatile concealers that I own. If I want to do a completely natural look like I'm doing today, it works beautifully for that. If I want to do a more full coverage look, a more glam look, it works works beautifully for that too. I use either a damp or dry sponge or my finger, and it works great either way. It covers well either with or without a corrector. I just really enjoy it. It has this nice soft matte finish, and I feel like if you're not prone to creasing underneath your eyes, you might not crease with it. I do, so I do have to set it. It also sets the face really nicely. I just find that some concealers can remove your foundation when you go to conceal your face. It conceals over blemishes really nicely too, and it wears well throughout the day. I find some concealers can make you look drier as the day goes on, and it does not do that. So to set my face, I'm going to use an old staple that just works really beautifully, the It by Pores Pressed Powder. I really do love this powder. It just always looks great with any foundation. This is $29, which is a great buy for the powder. If you do want a separate under eye setting powder, one that's really beautiful that I've been using a lot lately, the Pat McGrath under eye setting powder is an option, and it is $30. I've been loving this underneath the eyes. It is truly invisible, so I'm going to use this underneath the eye, but you can also set with this powder underneath the eye if you want to do that. I just wanted to give you an option. This is a great under eye setting powder for $30, and it will last you forever. So this is a powder bronzer that I love that is $30 from Sephora. I love multitasking with my bronzer, so I will be using this also as my eye crease transition shade as well and underneath my lash line. I'm going to keep this easy and quick today and use a powder bronzer. I'm going to use the Fenty Sunstalker bronzer in the shade Private Island, which I feel like looks kind of orangey on camera, but this is $30 from Sephora. It's a great price. I actually thought it was more than that. I don't know why, but if you wanted a cream option, the Milk Makeup Stick, this big guy you'll get a ton of use from, is $28. You get a ton for your money. You can use a cream or a powder, whichever one you choose. I wanted to give you both options here for two that I've really been enjoying. I just find that when I have days where I'm just wanting to get ready either for myself or just to look somewhat presentable for whatever reason, I usually prefer a powder. I find it's just a little bit quicker for me personally. I remember the first time I tried this bronzer, I was actually quite shocked because it's a matte bronzer, and I thought that I was going to have to tap off a lot of excess. I literally have to tap off zero excess before I apply this with the brush. It's pretty amazing. I went ahead and filled in my brows after I did my bronzer because the brow pencil was just laying there, and I thought, why not? This is the Sephora Retractable Waterproof Brow Pencil, which I think is pretty phenomenal, especially if you live in a hot area or, you know, you're gonna be swimming or something and you want your brows to stay on. I have patchy brows, so that's always a concern, and it's $12. This is the shade Medium Brown, and it's got a nice fine tip as well. It's also got a spoolie on the other end, which I love, and I've been liking it quite a bit. Now, I'm not the strongest at my brows, but this is what we end up with. I also threw on a tinted brow gel as well, and all the products that I use in this video will be linked and listed down below so that you can access them easily. And I'll also have information down there for you about joining Sephora's Beauty Insider program if you're not familiar, because you can redeem points for products, you can earn rewards, you can get a birthday gift during your birthday month, and all kinds of other things. All right, let's move on to blush, and I have two products here. I have the Jouer Blush Duo in the shade Adore. You just get a ton of product here, and it's so super flattering for any skin type. And I also have the Buxom Wanderlust blushes, which I talked about recently in a video, my favorite blushes video, because I love this formula. They're primer infused, and they just last forever on the skin. They're really flattering. So the shade that I have here is Mykonos, and I just find it to be really brightening and beautiful. And these are $22. So even though these are both really pretty, I'm kind of thinking I might use this just to, I don't know, be kind of cheerful and springy. I hope that looks on camera as pretty as it looks off camera, because it's just a really pretty, vibrant, kind of melony peach shade. I needed to go ahead and put lip liner on because my lips just felt naked. And speaking of naked, the shade that I used is Stark Naked from Urban Decay 24/7. I feel like people neglect these lip liners because as others have come out, but the formula of these is just fantastic. These are kind of comfort lip liners for me. They glide on beautifully, they last beautifully, and the shade is just a wonderful nude. And now my lips don't feel naked anymore. I'm going to use Milk Makeup Lit Highlighter. This is the mini and it's $15, and I think you will get everything you need from the mini. This is how it compares to the full-size bronzer, which is $28. So either way, you're spending less than $30, but you're going to use a lot less highlighter than you will bronzer, and I just feel like I've gotten more than my money's worth out of this $15. This is one of those cream highlighters that applies beautifully over or under powder. It leaves a really nice finish. It doesn't feel goopy or greasy or slimy or anything like that, and it doesn't leave an obvious shimmer. It highlights exactly the way it's supposed to, and it leaves you looking just radiant and kind of just dewy without a greasy film. It also doesn't take off the makeup that you've applied either. Sometimes when you apply cream highlighters over powdered makeup, it can remove what's underneath, and it doesn't do that. One of my favorite products that I've just been absolutely loving lately, it makes me feel good every time I wear it, is this Giorgio Armani eye tint in rose gold. This is one of the metallic formulas, and at Sephora this is $30 even, and it's been worth every penny for me. Not only have I worn it so much, but it just looks beautiful either on its own or applied with other eyeshadow looks. I love the shape of the applicator. I can get right into the corner of the eye, and then I can just blend it out all over the lid, and then I blend out the crease with a brush. I also like to just run a little bit underneath the lash line. I just find it to be really flattering. These BareMinerals Gen Nude eyeshadow quads are $29, and I just do not think that you can get a better buy for the money, especially for the quality. I have rose and neutral, and I think they're both great depending on what your preference is. I'm going to zoom through what I just did here, but just know that it is totally optional, and you can leave your one and done eyeshadow the way I did here. I love a good rose gold one and done eyeshadow, but you can get the full step-by-step of how I did this eye lift without using eyeliner in my last video. So just check out that video if you want to see that. It's great for those of you with hooded eyes, downturned eyes, or just anybody who doesn't want to mess with eyeliner and wants a quick way to get an eye lift. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and put on mascara, and then we'll move on to lips. I finished doing the shadow, which again, you can check out in my last video. Super, super easy. Again, the dark shadow is optional. The mascara that I used today is the Hourglass Caution, which you can get in a travel size. And one of my favorite things to get from Sephora are the travel mascara sizes, because they are $12 to $14. By the time you use them up, it's time to replace your mascara anyway. And I do keep a travel size of this mascara in my travel bag because it's one of my favorite mascaras. So that is what I have on right now. And the lipstick that I put on is Urban Decay Vice in the shade Naked. I love this. This is such a comfort shade for me. It's just one of those perfect everyday nudes that works with anything. I love it. I love the formula of the entire Vice line, and these are $19. I thought about applying a gloss instead, and that's totally an option. I really do enjoy the Fenty Gloss Balm. It's $18. I mean, you cannot go wrong with either of these. I really like the original shade of this. It's also a great neutral, and I could put it on right over the top of this. I mean, why not? It gives it a little bit more shine, but still keeps that neutral look, and I just feel so much more put together, and I would feel just as put together if I didn't add the eyeliner. I could just be with the one and done eyeshadow and mascara and feel great. I want to thank Sephora once again for sponsoring this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. Stay safe and healthy. I'll have my eye lift without eyeliner technique video linked here for you if you haven't seen it. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, become part of the family. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.